Hello. Today we're going to make chicken cacciatore. So I wanted to sharpen my knife, and it's good to keep your knives sharpened. They say that you cut yourself more often with a dull knife than with a sharp knife, but of course, always be careful. So this is kind of like an easy peasy one. Instead of using what's called a steel, they look like a long sword, and you go and really what you're doing is you're not sharpening, you're taking a little bit of the metal away anytime you, quote, sharpen your knife. So I was doing this for a little bit, and then I thought, oh, I'll just show you guys. You go in one direction, don't go back and forth like that. So let's get started. I'm using a crock pot today, and I'm going to use some of my seasoned olive oil that, I just put a bunch of herbs in there. And there's a little bit of hot pepper in this one. I like this one. This is heating up already. So I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom, just enough to cover. And a couple of the flakes came out, but really the flakes infused the oil. If anybody ever wants to come over, I have saved a lot of little tiny small bottles, and BYO, EVOO, bring your own olive oil. No, I guess I could just buy some for us. And then bring some herbs that you want to put in, and I have the little bottles, and we can like make a day of it, like put garlic in, or if you have fresh basil, I like to do that one. So I'm going to cut up some carrots, but first I'm going to get the chicken in here. Okay, let me grab this. I buy things kind of in bulk that at least that I can separate a couple times. I'm going to use chicken thighs this time. I don't want to touch it because then I gotta go over and wash my hands again. So I'm just going to put this in. This is for chicken thighs, bone in. Because when this is finished cooking, trust me, it will be very, very fall apart tender. Easy to get off that middle bone, So I'm just going to use this so I don't have to touch. Okay, I think I will do skin side down on that. Come on. They're a little bit frozen still, but that's okay. All right. Then I'm just going to really get all these ingredients in on top, and that's it for it, pet. Okay. Let me just peel my carrots here real quick. Okay. Trying to do it so you guys can see. And I always like the fresh carrots much better than those little ones that they tumble around that were imperfect carrots, and then they put them in the tumbler. Maybe they broke, maybe they're too small, whatever, and then they come out as the little mini carrots. And then they put some sort of chemical on them, and that's not cool, right? So I'm gonna do like so. I know this looks like I'm wasting, but I use them for other things. Okay, and get this going. I gotta think, how do I want these? Big enough that they're, let's see. Yeah. I always have to think, how do I want them cut? Like what size, kind of. So generally, I'm gonna keep them, oops, don't run away. Run away, carrot. I'm gonna keep them this size. Kind of like this. Okay. So that they'll cook through, but they won't be too totally mushy. Although they will be a little bit mushy, but that's okay. Okay, this will have a sauce. First time I made chicken cacciatore, of course, we didn't have the internet. I had my own place at 16. Come on, So I just went by what I thought was in it, and of course I missed a couple key ingredients, and man, it changes the taste totally. So you might be surprised at these couple of ingredients that I didn't think I was gonna like, by the way, in here, but they lend to the whole sauce flavor. So you gotta try different things. Oh, that was that same runaway carrot. See if I can hit the can. Yeah, I did 2 points. I'm gonna use the rest of my look how I have that cut. What I did was for Easter, I saw which way the pepper wanted to lay, And then I cut out the top, and then I put some dip inside there. And one of Lindsay's little boys says, I think he's now 9. Yeah, he said to me, he looked at me with a furrowed brow and he said, "Why did you put this dip in that pepper?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, honey. I thought it would look nice." I said, "And then if somebody wants to eat the pepper with the dip, they could do that later." He didn't say anything. He just walked away like, "You're crazy." But that's okay. I like a lot of green pepper in this particular dish. Again, I'm just going to do a rough chop. I might not even use all that. I might make a salad tomorrow with some of that. You know how that is. Okay, we're going. Get in there. Everything goes in the pot, which is nice. And I can feel it's warming up already. And I used a big pot. Let's see. A little bit more of this, okay? Okay, what else? How about some onion? I have 1 onion left. I really need to go to the store. But I used a ton of them whenever I was doing the potatoes, those cheesy potatoes that we call funeral potatoes. But it's cute because in our family, because my niece Amy made them and my sister Donna had never seen them, I guess, and she always called them Amy potatoes. So I actually wrote in my cookbook Amy potatoes. So there you go, Amy. Now, how do I want to do this? Really, just again, a rough kind of chop, not a mince necessarily. I'm going to give that 1. Yeah, I'm just going to give it 1. See my rocking motion? Oh, I can't believe. See, I'm doing this here so that you guys can see better because it always cuts off my cutting board. I'm looking at the camera and I think that you'll be able to see this cutting board, and yet sometimes it cuts it off. But all my veg is like jumping around. I'm trying to go a little. The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. Right? You remember that one? Okay. Again, just kind of a rough chop. See, I have the board all the way over, but hopefully you can see. These last bits, since it doesn't matter, it's not supposed to be pretty, it's just supposed to be yummy, get in there. And then I just have a little teeny left over. Okay. Now, what kind of sauce are you going to have, Shirley? Well, we're going to have something a little different here. Okay. Wow, that's getting full. That's okay. We'll serve this over rice and eat it like that. Now, let's do some spices. Okay. I am going to use very little of the thyme. I'm not a big fan of this because I think it's really strong, and maybe because I didn't grow up with it, but I'm looking at the pot here and how much I'm going to use. I'm going to go like this to wake it up and put it in there. Boy, it really does wake up like that. I can always add a little more, right? It's dried thyme. We like things a little hot, so we're going to use some spicy pepper. Hot pepper flakes. Again, it'll just season that sauce. You won't get like a big crunch of it. I'm going to do a little parsley now. And I have some oregano here. I have different kinds of oregano. I like to grow the Greek oregano. It has a nice fragrance to it, but it also, let me smell this. Yeah, I've had it for a little while. I want to make sure it's still fresh. Just maybe like that much. Anyway, it's easy to grow, the Greek oregano. It grows real pretty. It's just like little tiny, tiny flowers, leaves. I don't know what I'm saying. Ignore me. Now for the weird part. You ready? I'm going to put some olives in. I don't think I'm going to put these in quite yet. No, maybe I'll put half in because I think they flavor it too. I happen to have these left over from our little cheese board that we have. And this is what gave me the idea to I look at my fridge and go, what can I make? Oh, look, I got rid of my nail polish. that awful orange neon stuff, remember? I couldn't take it anymore. It's still on my toes though. It looks okay. Why am I telling you guys this? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna put the rest of these in when it gets closer to time. Alrighty. Oh, I forgot my garlic. Why I oughta. Let's do the garlic. Okay, just a little bit of it. There's a million ways to cut your garlic, I know. I do it like this. Sometimes I just shake it. Okay, get over there. Again, this isn't the freshest, but it'll still work. Okay. That's how I get the skin off. See, it just pops right off. Goodness. I'm just going to slice this down. I'm not going to crush it this time. So I just take it in half and then just slice it pretty thin. It smells good already. I smell the onions, of course. So just some sliced garlic or crushed garlic or garlic from the jar, if that's what you have. But I maintain always fresh is better. Okay, there we go. Okay, that was just 2 cloves. I usually would probably add a lot more. I'm the garlic queen, they say. Yeah. We have a little salt and pepper. Don't you love my little thing that Zane bought me? If I admire anything, it doesn't matter what it is. I always say to him, don't go buy that. But he goes and buys it. So it hasn't worked yet with the horse, though. This is ground pepper. I should do that more often. I really love that horse over there, Thane. Now, these 2 next ingredients. This was the other reason that I decided to make chicken cacciatore. The black olives were the first. You could use green. And then my leftover spaghetti sauce, because I also made stuffed shells for Easter. And I had extra sauce. Actually, and I had some meatballs in here. But this is, and it'll cook off, because it gives that really good back flavor. Some red wine. I'm going to pour it like this so you can see it going in maybe. To me, there's no order with chicken cacciatore. You just throw everything together, okay? Cook it on low and slow. We need some spaghetti sauce in here, but I don't want to get the meatballs in, so let's see if I can do this with that. It is a meat sauce, but whatever. You can use a can of crushed tomatoes if and you want. Then we'll have to have meatball sandwiches with these couple meatballs that were left, right? That should be good. I can freeze the rest of this too if I want. Let me give it a stir. I have to tippy toe. Get in there, everybody. Okay. I think I need a tiny bit more sauce so the chicken is all the way covered. So I think I'm just going to add a little bit of water and a little bit more sauce. Let me think if I forgot anything. I don't think so. I'm just going to keep it on low. It's early in the day. Then I'll show you the final result. Okay. There we go. Chicken. Oh, and you know what cacciatore means? Look at, I'm finding onions that fell off on my stove. Whoops. They went everywhere. Cacciatore is a one-pot dish, like in a lot of ethnic places, maybe. Don't quote me on that. I always think Italian, you know. Where whatever the hunter would bring home, that's what they would do. They would use that as the protein, as the meat in this type of a dish. More or less, poor man's dishes, I always call them, because that's what my mother called them. You know, the one-pot meals, they're always my favorite. Maybe because I grew up on them, or maybe they're just darn good. You know, all the soups and stews and stuff like that. Cacciatore is another one, but cacciatore means hunter. How about that? You learn something new every day, I'll tell you. Okay, I'll be back with the end results. Thanks, guys. Okay, it's time to eat. So we're gonna serve it up and see how our chicken cacciatore looks. I also baked some bread. Yes, this pan is still hot. And always use a serrated knife when you're making fresh bread. Let me do this, see if it'll come out. Ouch. And I'm gonna put this on a cutting board over here. Okay. And it smells delicious in this house. Like seriously, it does. I like to serve in bowls kind of like this, like a shallow one. I did make some rice, and it's jasmine rice. I like to use a scooper duper to serve with. So I'll put some of this in the middle. Okay, and then around that rice will go our chicken cacciatore. Now, I did use the skinned, or not skinned, skin on chicken thighs. So I'm gonna do this. We can slip that skin right off, believe me, it's not a problem. Okay, lots of sauce. The olives just lend that brininess to it. It's like, and you don't even have to eat them, but just kind of include them in there, I say. You know what I want to do? I'm going to grab one of these, like a slotted spoon, so I can grab a little bit more of the veg out, because I made a lot of sauce. And then we're going to finish it like this. You ready? Asiago. Can you see that? Oh, Asiago. Or a lot, as it were. I really like Asiago. It is a cow's milk. Here, let me do this while you're looking like this. It's cow's milk cheese. It's like a little sharper than your Parmesan or Romano, Pecorino Romano, which is like a sheep's milk. But this is more nutty, more creamy, and we really like it. We always keep one of those in the house. So there you have it. We'll peel back that skin. This chicken will fall right off. Want to do it?